Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to solve a system of linear equations using substitution. So, say I had two linear equations, y is equal to 3x plus 10 and y is equal to 5x minus 2. And I asked you to solve these two linear equations. What do I mean by that? Well, we can open this up on Desmos and try graphing this out to see what this would look like. So, say I graphed y is equal to 3x plus 10 and y is equal to 5x minus 2 on Desmos to see what this would look like. Okay, so my first equation here, I'm going to graph y is equal to 3x plus 10. And my second equation here, I'm going to graph y is equal to 5x minus 2 on Desmos. Now you can see these two lines. These two lines meet up at a point here. If I click on the point, I can see these two lines will meet up at the point 6, 28. Now in my point here, remember this first value represents my x value, and my second value here, the 28, represents my y value. So we can see these two lines will meet up when x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 28. So, to solve these two linear equations, what do I need? I would need to figure out what my x value is and what my y value is. Now, there's another way we could solve equations like this without having to graph. And this method is called substitution. So the idea here is we can substitute one of these equations into the other one to solve for x and y. Right? Because remember, we need both x and y to solve these two linear equations. Well, first of all, I notice y is equal to 3x plus 10. And I also know y is equal to 5x minus 2. Since I know y is equal to both of these, I can just make these equal to each other. So I can make y equal to 5x minus 2. Right? 3x plus 10, sorry. I can make that equal to 5x minus 2. And now all I have to do is solve this for x. Well, there's several ways I can solve this. One way is by subtracting 3x from both sides. On the left-hand side, 3x minus 3x is 0, so those cancel out. And I'm just left with 10. On the right-hand side, 5x minus 3x is 2x. And then we're left with a minus 2. Okay, here we're subtracting 2. Remember, to solve linear equations, we can use opposite operations. We want to use opposite operations. And the opposite of subtracting by 2 is adding 2. So we can add 2 to both sides. 2 minus 2 is 0, so those cancel. So we're left with 2x on the right-hand side here. 10 plus 2 is 12. Okay. We're multiplying x by 2 to get 12. Well, 2 times 6 is equal to 12. So we can see x has to be equal to 6. But we're not done. We found x, but we still need to find y in order to solve these two linear equations. How can I find y? Well, I can find y by plugging it in to one of these two equations, right? Because I know y, right? For example, I know y is equal to 3x plus 10. So I can plug in x is equal to 6 into this equation to find y. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in to find y. All right, let's do that. Again, first of all, I know y is equal to 3x plus 10. Okay, I'm going to plug in x is equal to 6 into my equation here. Okay, I'm going to plug in x is equal to 6 to see what that gives me. Now, 3 times 6, that's 18, plus 10. And I know 18 plus 10 is just 28. So I can see my answer here is x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 28. And I can write that as a point, 6 and 28. Again, remember my x-coordinate always comes first in my point, and my y-coordinate comes second. Let's take a look at a couple more examples here. Okay, in this next example, I have y is equal to 3x minus 1, and negative 2x plus y is equal to 1. To solve this, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to substitute my y value, my value for y, into the second equation. Right? So I'm going to plug in y, which I know is 3x minus 1, into my second equation. So let's do that. So first of all, I know 2x plus y is equal to 1. And now, in place of y here, I can plug in 3x minus 1. Okay, now I just need to solve this for x. Negative 2x plus 3x is just 1x, or just x. Minus 1 is equal to 1. And I know 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So here, x has to be 2. But I'm not done yet. I have my x value, but I still need to find my y value. To find my y value, what I want to do is, just like before, I need to plug it in to one of these equations. So I'm just going to plug this in to find y. And I know y is equal to 3x minus 1. So in place of my x value here, I'm just going to plug in 2. So let's do that. Now, 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 1 is 5. So I have y is equal to 5. And I can write this as a point. 2, 5. And that's my answer. So, all I'm doing to solve using substitution is I'm plugging in either my x or my y value into the other equation. Let's take a look at one more example. Okay, here I have x plus 2y is equal to 10, and 3x plus 4y is equal to 18. Okay. How can I solve this for x and y? Well, what I want to do here is I need to get x or y by itself. Right here, I do not have x or y by itself yet. So I need to do that first so that I can plug that in to the other equation in order to solve. So what I need to do is I need to get x or y by itself. Here at the top, I know x plus 2y is equal to 10. Well, what I can do here is I can subtract 2y, right? I can subtract 2y from both sides. And if I do that, I get x is equal to 10 minus 2y. And now I have x by itself. And since I have x by itself, I can plug that in to my equation here in order to solve. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to plug in x, 10 minus 2y, into my second equation here in order to solve. Now, I know that 3x plus 4y is equal to 18. In place of x here, I want to plug in 10 minus 2y. Right, so in place of x, what am I going to do? I'm going to plug in 10 minus 2y. And then, just like before, I'm just going to solve this. To solve this, first I need to simplify the left-hand side. So first, I know I'm going to have to multiply. I'm going to have to multiply this out, right, in order to simplify this. Let's do that. So first, to multiply these, I need to multiply the 3 by the 10. 3 times 10 is just 30. Next, I'm going to multiply the 3 by negative 2y. 3 times negative 2y is negative 6y. Plus 4y is equal to 18. Next, I'll notice negative 6y plus 4y is equal to negative 2y. Okay, to get y by itself, I need to get rid of this 30 on the left-hand side. To get rid of the 30 on the left-hand side, I need to subtract 30 from both sides. Thirty minus 30 cancels out. So I'm left with negative 2y on the left-hand side. 18 minus 30 is equal to negative 12. To get y by itself, I just need to divide by negative 2. Negative 12 divided by negative 2 is 6. So I know y is equal to 6. But of course, I'm not done yet. I still need to find x. To find x, what am I going to do? Just like I did before, plug it in. Right? We're going to plug it in to find x. Right? I'm going to plug in y is equal to 6 into my equation here in order to find x. Okay, I know x is equal to 10 minus 2y. I'm going to plug in y is equal to 6. Okay. 2 times 6, that's 12. So I'm looking for 10 minus 12. 10 minus 12 is equal to negative 2. So I can see my solution is x is equal to negative 2 and y is equal to 6. And I can write that as a point here. So to summarize, what's the idea here? To solve a system of linear equations, what we need to do is we need to get x or y by itself first. And once we have x or y by itself, we're just going to plug it in to the other equation to solve. So again, we want to get x or y by itself and then plug it into the other equation to solve. And this method is called substitution, right? Because we're substituting x or y into the other equation in order to solve.